ebuhlungu umfazi obele ngepheshe komlanje onobatsheli thokazi ndithi halala ngale mini yamagugu nemvelo esizwe esintsundu ndithi nathi sivukile kweli cala camagu
Light of the Mountain. Brown coffee.
Tamapo Ndondo, Tamapo Bani Mtondo. Tamapo Ndondo, Tamapo Bani Mtondo.
Oh, yes. Good evening, my people. So the time is 18 minutes past 6, or you can say it's 18:18. All right. So, first of all, I would like to read you the news updates, just the headlines, and then we'll get into each story deeper. And then after that, we're going to choose one of the topics there. Then can you see Vale with the talk of the day? What is on your mind? Yes, man. What's on my mind actually, not yours, because you won't write anything on the comment section. You guys are not writing anything, so it's not what's on your mind. It's what's on my mind. Yeah, man. This is Opanigandondo coming to you live. Apago Facebook, TikTok, as well. Siafumanega pa go YouTube. All right, without wasting any time, let us start and begin with the show. But before we do that, Khablaf.
Tamapo Ndondo, Tamapo Bani Mtondo.
Oh yes, City Botani. Olweni. Sanibonani. This is Opanigandondo coming to you live with the Bani Daily News as embedded Pakubani Daily Podcast. But soqala nge-new segment apha ngoba kaloku i-topics iqala
Bani
apha
Mtondo.
if you are aware. Oh yes, if you are aware, you must know that. That's where we get the news from. The topics of the day, we get it from the news. Oh yes, so let us get into the news.
Bani Mtondo.
Alright, this is Upanikandondo. Njengoba sozivela nawo phaa kucama kushiswa kutaqima kubani nanga-ke amaqondo aphambili iingongoma zethu zanamhlanje. Yes, DA calls on Trump admin to rethink misconceptions. Also, we'll be looking at big announcement for game and macro. And also, Trevor Noah is under fire for illegal immigrant joke. Sold out matches. Is it a blessing or a burden? And then, rogue top cop caught in 100,000 rands bribe scandal. Also, we look at our last story of the day would be the interest rate cut and how it affects your home loan. And obviously, we might just pick this topic for today, for tonight show. But nonetheless, let us begin with the news updates. Before we pick the first topic, I would like for you, Kuba,
Tamapo Bani.
Khablapa.
Bani Mtondo, Dladla eliphathini eliphezulu. Nomethuko umfazi obele ngepheshe komlanjana. Onobatsheli thokazi ndithi halala ngale mini yamagugu nemvelo esizwe sintshile. Ndithi nathi sivukile kweli cala.
Samoya Wethu, our spirit brown coffee. Bani Mtondo. Bani Mtondo.
Oh, yes. All right, let's just.
Bani Mtondo.
Umpandazawami, my prayer. Brown coffee.
Bani Mtondo.
Ngezindaba kuqala nezindaba nokho
Camapu Ntondo, Camapu Bani. Bani
don't
Mtondo.
stress. Do not stress yourself. I got nix. So yeah, man, this is Ubani Gandondo. Patkele ezishushu ngobunjalo bazo. Ewe ke bantu bakuthi besesiqalile ke phasaveza today's headlines basizokutshekisha ntoni sijonge ntoni siyeke AP. Ewe kaloku besenditshilo njena ndathi sizojonga phaa when Trump edges when the DA urges Trump administration to rethink misconception, then we also go to game and macro announcement with major changes. Also look at Trevor Noah's being pulled for illegal immigrants joke. And we close it with how much will you save on your bond after the interest rate cuts? Ndingalibelanga phana that 10,000 rands bribe scandal of a top cop, which was caught. Oh, yes, man, that is it for today that I have for you. So let's start and begin with the first one. So, the first topic of the day is based on actually, before we all do things right, you know how it is, man. DA calls on Trump admin to rethink misconception. Let us find out where did that start
Bani
and
Mtondo.
where is it coming from? Oh, yes. So, all you got to know is that in South Africa, the South Africa's Democratic Alliance has issued a strong statement urging the Trump administration to reconsider what they call misconceptions about certain policies. Though details remain scarce, this move signals growing international tension and concern over diplomatic relations. We'll keep you updated as the story unfolds, but also we will unfold it a bit just for you to have a glimpse of what we are talking about when we are saying the DA has urged Trump's administration to back off, basically to stop following misconceptions or something like that. But we just have to find out. So all this started after the expropriation bill or the land expropriation act. Now Trump, it feels like he has something to say about that, but I feel like he doesn't have much information about it. So yeah, there are also tragic news you're gonna be able to see it. But then again, Soyi Somaliti Pago News 24 has covered this story about Donald Trump and the expropriation bill. So I would like for us to look into that story. And yes, man, we have to look into it. We have to. It sounds like it's very concerning, and it does involve a like, great number of countries in Africa. But then again, this is targeting South Africa. So I just have to look into it. What is the big deal? And what is it with this Trump guy? Why does he feel like he needs to be part of South Africa's business. So yeah, man, let's get to that. You're still watching Bani Daily Live Podcast, and this is Bani Live Daily News with Ubani Kantondo. Yes, man, we are still worried about Trump's administration and conceptions appropriation bill. So yeah, man, without wasting any time, without any further ado, let us just jump in. Story. Now, congratulations to Donald J. Trump for being nominated as the 57th President of the United States of America. Big ups for him. I don't want to lie. To be blunt, I don't see Trump as a bad guy, and I don't see him as a good guy either. But for the most part of me and following him, I am kind of like in favor of his ideologies in a sense, or probably the ideology of the party that he's representing. Obviously, if you represent a certain party, you're also representing the same ideologies. I don't really like, I am not really far, they are not really far fetched. You know what I mean? They're so close to what a human being is. You know what I mean? Knows that if you're a Christian, you gotta remain as a Christian and act like one. And all the things that they were all taboo in the Old Testament. They were also taboo even in the recent years. Even though people they are saying they are all focusing on the New Testament, but the recent years also they preach the fact that Babylon was banned because of 1, 2, and 3. Sodom and Gomorrah was banned because of 1, 2, and 3. And today we cannot say we have to look around that when you are defining what a Christian is. So when it comes to Trump, I really do strongly agree with his views when it comes to that and the views of the the two genders. I think that makes sense. You may come here and say you're non-binary and all of those things, but honestly speaking and naturally speaking, we both know that whoever is saying now they are non-binary, physically, from our eyes, as much as they would look up and see that the sky is blue and not green, they can convince, I don't know if they can convince themselves that the sky is green, then I wouldn't be really in a position to argue with those people. But if a person looks up and they see the same color as I'm seeing, you cannot look down and when you see a person, you won't see the same gender as I'm seeing. If you understand what I'm trying to say here, if you perceive humans as human beings as well, you should also consider the fact that there is binary or binarism. I don't know how you guys gonna call it, but there's both sexes, the female and the male. That's how life continues. So I also kind of like strongly agrees when it comes to the idea of that and how Trump says it. There are so many things for the mere fact that he is a capitalist and he's also uh, a president of the United States and representing the what are this the Republicans. It also shows that he's a traditional and conservative. Obviously, he's a traditional person who believes that in order for you to be successful, there's only one thing that you gotta do is to wake up and go get it for you by yourself because there is no one who's going to come to save you. As much as the other side would be like, okay, so and so, half of the population is waking up. Then the half of this population doesn't need to wake up because there's welfare that is being generated by the half of the population that is working. But now, imagine a world whereby 90%, if not 100% of its population who are in the age of being employed Imagine if all of those people are working, that country automatically becomes the first world country and the most powerful country as well. Because if a lot of people are going to work, that means they have means and they have also an excessive money. But let's not talk about excessive money because that excess money can cover others things and then can also promote someone's life. You know what I mean? Develop someone's life. You can take your children out of the public schools and put them in the good private schools. You know what I mean? Like now, imagine now a great number of people taking their children to good schools. What's going to happen? All of those learners, I mean, those kids will turn up to be educated citizens, citizens that understand the politics, citizens that understand the economy, and then citizens that understand life in general. And that will make the country stable and remain as what? A country that is strong economically and socially. Because the people there are all aware, they're eliminated. So for me, man, telling me that people can lazy around, can drop out of school, can become useless just because there is a welfare, the government is going to take care of them. It's not the government who's taking care of these people. The government is only the middleman, like the person who takes money from this one and then try to distribute it to these ones. So it doesn't make sense for me for you to sleep the whole day and not do anything, expecting people who lose sleep, people who are suffering from insomnia, people who are suffering from anxiety, they're even depressed because of they are not having enough sleep. They keep on going to work and just for them to be taxed ridiculously so that a lazy person who's sitting down can get hired. Nonetheless, I wasn't talking about that today. I wanted us to look into the story of Donald J. Trump and his misconceptions as in unison ANC and opposition parties they condemn Trump's reckless statement which shows that he is really ignorant about what is really happening in South Africa. He really doesn't have much knowledge about that. He's not knowledgeable about the expropriation bill. Probably he had it in the passing, or somebody just came or just said it to him when he was asking about international news, what is trending in the international news. And then somebody just talked about South Africa. I don't know, man, why he's even commenting about this. So a lot of people have commented on his statement, probably there on Twitter as well. But nonetheless, let us hear some of the people who did comment on this. What did they say as they commenting? So, man, I'm reading this from news24.com. All right. And nonetheless, there are people who have commented there. So I'm just going to read 2 or 3 comments if I'll be able to, because in order for you to access anything in News 24 website, you gotta be a member. And I am not pleased with that. I am not gonna sign up for something that I don't know because they don't even show you what they have after subscribing. Ah, come on. I won't even subscribe on this. But nonetheless, okay, guys, unfortunately, I cannot read the comments in News 24. I won't read any comments, anyways, because this is not the highlight of the day. This is not our big story of the day. But I just wanted us to be on the right side. You know what I mean? Before I tell you that Donald Trump is tripping, he's just paranoid, and then he shows that I don't know, man. How far did he go in school or something like that? But Donald J. Trump is not really, he's not displaying or conveying any amount of intelligence when it comes to a lot of number of like actions, how he acts. I come across him as someone who's really lazy to read, you know, but nonetheless, he knows his story. That's why he's the president for the second time now. So I did show you that I also see the same way as he does. But in some of the cases, such as this one now, I feel like he has no information at all about what is happening here. But now I'm finding out that it is a big lie of land. That's what Ramaphosa politely schooled the terrible Trump on SA reform. See, as I'm saying, like that's how he schooled him because seemingly this guy he jumped classes, he bunked classes, or probably he had he went through homeschooling and he had a lazy tutor. But nonetheless, also on the same news, Elon Musk weighs in on racist SA laws after Ramaphosa responds to Trump. Withhold minerals to US. Mandashe calls on Africa to unite against Trump threats. What? This is amazing. Guys, I wish I can cover these ones. Probably I'm going to come back to this tonight. Because if Mandashe is saying this, whereas Trump always keeps on saying, threatening other countries that is going to raise tariffs and stuff like that. Now, when Mandashi is saying withhold minerals to the U.S. and Mandashi is been working in the industry of minerals and he understands how many minerals does the U.S. need and how much are they ripping us off. Because if we can pose tariffs as well on them, that means rand will be very much strong because they will want to buy these minerals and then we'll just say no, this is how much these minerals cost now because we as South Africans are in control. Nonetheless, let us go to the other news because I read you like a list of headlines, but we have just only covered one so far. Yes, man, I am really pleased that you are watching. And please do comment to show me that you are really watching. And then after that, please you can like and share or react on this. Also, big announcement for game. Yes, big announcement for game and macro. But before we go to there, ndingathanda ukubana wena kaloku uzikhumbule kuyafuneka uba umane uphumla ungathethi ude umele. Oh
Bani
yes.
Mtondo.
This is what I'm talking about. Come up, my feet.
Camaco Mtondo, Camaco Bani. Bani Mtondo.
Yes, you are still watching Ubani Gandondo coming to you live on TikTok, Facebook, and the other social network platforms. Yeah, man, sisanipakela indaba zanamhlanje sisatithile ke ngoku nge-headlines zethu zokuqala whereby the DA is kind of telling Trump to stop relying on lies and get facts about the expropriation bill, which shows solidarity in South African politics or South African cabinet, because we all believe that the DA is really against the expropriation bill. But for it to tell Trump to back off, it makes me think otherwise about the guys because I really thought that they are against everything. Yeah, man, unfortunately, today we are live on what? Facebook and YouTube. It's not TikTok. But I can switch from YouTube to TikTok right about now. But before we go through the switching, can we go to the next story of the day? The big news or the big announcement of game and mark